Malicious here. We are getting ready to go into the third and fourth place game, starting out with the divisional ranks. Again, thank you to everyone that's watching us right now, following on all the social medias. Regular NXL Paintball is going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at NXL Paintball. For the women's, WNXL is at WNXL, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Right now off the bat, we have Dynamic on our left, Omaha Jamz on the right. We got 5-on-5 in the beginning. However, Dynamic is dropping one player out of the middle here, so we've got 5-on-4. For the breakout, you're going to see a lot of these teams. You can win from all facets of the field. However, some of the main things is you need to have a complementary. You need to have a 1 and 2. If it's in the middle, you need to meet them at the Doritos, or you need to meet them at the Snake. However, the Snake side is going to be very hard to get into, so you're going to see a lot of teams come through the middle and the Dorito side. Jamz has now just dropped a player as well, so we've got 4-on-4 right now.
Yeah.
Yep, and then we've got the Snake insert for Dynamic, the second insert for Jamz working into the Snake. However, he's got a mirror at the juice box. We're still 4-on-4. Dynamics moving up into the 50 Dorito. Jamz is at the Dorito 3 right now, as well as in the center. You're going to hear me call this the plate. It's that W right there in the middle.
There you go.
It's got so many different terms. Plate, race, things like that. So that's what I'm going to reference when I say that. You can see that this player for the Jamz is looking inside right now. Dynamic just made a move into the Snake. He's at Snake 2, shooting down the wire, shooting at the juice box, leaning in. So again, you can see the plate is on the Snake 3, as well as the Jamz players move from the tall stand-up tempo out to Dorito 1. We're going to see if Dynamic is able to capture that. Again, Dynamic right now is at Dorito, the 50 Dorito. They're at the Snake 3. Jamz has now just moved into 40 Dorito.
And it looks like we're about to have a battle here in the Doritos, because it looks like Omaha just got all the way
Dynamic
up to
coming
Dorito
through.
4, and Dynamic makes the run through. And does he stay alive? It looks like he does stay alive.
Yep, and 3 Jamz players are walking off right now.
Oh, man.
Moving down the Snake for Dynamic. And, okay, that's the towel. First point's going to go to Dynamic. 1-0 Jamz. This is for third and fourth for divisionals. We've got 10:06 on the time. Up next is Malicious Intent, Wisconsin, Infamous.
Okay, so this is for first and second now.
Yes.
This one is correct. So this is Division 3 X-Ball. So this is huge. I actually played in this division this weekend. So seeing these guys out here, some of them very familiar faces that I've seen before, played against. I know some of them personally, so it's really awesome just to see these guys out here having fun and getting to play for first and second, third and fourth at World Cup.
Nice. And where were you playing on the field?
So I was mainly the one on either the Dorito or the Snake side. So a lot of times I was going to this juice box over here on the Snake side, or either I would be kind of shooting a lane, delaying, and then going into the Doritos somewhere.
Yep.
So that was a lot of what I was doing. Just trying to be potent on the field, get up the field, and make attacking moves. So everything I see is kind of a very attacking standpoint, as like, if they have a guy in the center, it's something you have to worry about. Those gaps, you can't go through them. You have to head check. So that's a big thing, is this center presence has been huge this entire weekend.
Agreed. All right, so 5-on-5. Infamous has been going to the Snake corner off the bat. We're going to see if this player here in the black and green head wrap. Yep, going the same thing again. Infamous making the presence known up the middle, matched by Malicious Intent. So they're both on the Snake side wedge. Both are looking on the Snake side. However, Infamous, by taking the Snake side corner, they're drawing these pocket guns. You can see that Malicious Intent is what we would call a pocket play.
Yes.
So they're in the Snake wedge, sitting on that side. Again, the plate, this bunker can go left or right and has great shots on lanes, as you know. So the plate is sitting Doritos side for Malicious Intent. We've got the stand-up wedge right now, also looking the same way. I'm sorry, stand-up temple looking the same Dorito side. Their home players looking Snake side, as well as the juice box. Right now, we're still 5-on-5. Infamous is one of these teams that
Malicious Intent just lost a player, so now it's 4-on-5.
Just dropped one. Yep, they're okay. So, and looking, the plate's going to filter out back. Did he get caught? Maybe. I think I see something on his head. This ref sees it too. Ref's going to call out the Snake side wedge. So now we're down another. So 5-on-3. Infamous. What I was getting to is Infamous has great survivability.
Yeah.
These guys are very well coached, and they know what they're doing. So when they realize that they're going to get, as they call these tigers, they're going to capitalize on the moves that are made from that. So
yeah, and as you can tell right now, they took the risk, but I don't think they've moved any of their bunkers. So I think they've been in the same bunkers that they started out with. They're just dinking people out. They're playing better paintball right now, which is really what it is. Is that they're showing their gun skills right now. They're showing their zones. They're capitalizing on people making mistakes, trying to move. And it's really good paintball. That's Sunday paintball.
Truly, and just to complement what you're saying, these teams, even though this may look up, and Infamous just made a move from their snake side wedge right into the center 50 to kind of talk about what can happen in this center 50. Obviously, you can shoot on the snake side, you can shoot on the Dorito side. However, there are what we call windows when you're in the middle. So if you're on the snake side and you're using the stand-up portion of it, you have shots on the inside back line. Infamous actually now just drops their center 50 wall player, so we now have a 4-on-3. The other thing, as I was saying, the center 50 player, if he goes into the Dorito side and he uses that window to look on the snake side, he can have a shot on that back player for them. Obviously, he probably got caught through that window. However, in this kind of structure, it's not like the original W, so we actually have holes at our feet. So we can't see if those guys get shot. Who knows? We'll see how that one actually breaks out. So, as we can see here, we've got Malicious Intent still here on the back line. They are in the home, the stand-up juice box, and I believe there is a player in the Dorito side corner. So they're locked up right now, and I believe Malicious Intent just took a hit in the loader from the home. Yep. Okay, so they got 2. So it's a 5-on-4, or 4-on-2?
Yep, 4-on-2.
And this is where we're looking for that east-west communication between the teams to really get that establishment. Snake corner for Infamous just went to the snake insert bunker.
Yeah.
Looking for him to make that move into the snake.
He's got the ball here. He's got the ball here. No one's looking at him. He can go in their snake and go all the way down to their side of the field if he wants to.
Agreed. And as you said, he needs to take that ball and run with it because he has the option. He's the one right now stopping this from finishing. If he fills in the snake, as he's doing right now, he's just got to go. Just stay low and go. The center plate player needs to launch into the middle, give him a little bit more support, let this back player be the anchor.
Oh, man. And actually, as we're talking, it looks like
they just made a move to the snake corner. Malicious Intent
made it out to the snake corner, so that's a huge move for Malicious Intent to kind of slow down this Infamous move right here. Now they gain.
Oh, and we got, it looks like rub. It's definitely rub. There's so much stuff right there on that bunker. But as you're saying, this is going to stop a big snake push. However, if he's going to stay honoring the snake, we're going to see what else happens on the other side of the field for the middle or the Doritos.
Yeah.
Malicious Intent is still in the Dorito side corner. He's looking both down the tape and inside of the field because he has a lot of stuff he has to take care of right now. Let me see what this Wisconsin Infamous player is going to do.
And I like their creativity here of the snake player to shoot on the inside and kind of get that corner player to go in, and then he gets the wire control. And now it's kind of working with your teammates, figure out which way these guys are looking and figuring out where you can exploit these holes that they have.
Agreed. So we can see that Infamous is just launched into the wall. He's looking through.
And this is a great shot right here through this window.
Yep, it's that snake side window, and he's going to sit right on that Dorito corner, putting pressure on him. Again, not trying to knock on this Infamous player. Doesn't look like a super snake guy because obviously he would be down on their end, roasting this last guy in the corner.
This is a great move. Oh, and they towel it.
Yep. Okay, there we go. So we got 1-0 Infamous over Malicious Intent.
That move right there to jump the beam and start to go over is huge because that snake corner cannot see you when you jump the beam, and neither can the Dorito corner until you go on their side of the field. So that's one of those things where you can kind of get creative there, where you jump that beam and go up as long as you stay low. And so that's what we were talking about, trying to find those holes, trying to figure out where these guys are looking and how you can exploit it. And that's something that he was going to try and do. It's just that Malicious Intent noticed that he was going to try and do that, and they called it before he could get the chance to do it.
Agreed. The one thing also, too, with this field, as we can see, these longer points really drain that clock. So, obviously, we're coming here to this Jamz dynamic game. We've got 10 minutes on the game clock. I believe we are just under 9 for the previous game. You're going to see one thing with Jamz with the previous game, their east-west communication was definitely lacking. We're going to see if they can pick this up in this final game because this is where it really needs to matter. We're coming 10 seconds in right now.
Yep. And something for Dynamic, they've actually won 2 World Cups before, so this is their 3rd World Cup that they're not going to be playing for the finals, but they are playing for a podium spot.
And still matters. So a relative similar pocket play.
Yeah.
Looks like we are mirrored in these juice boxes. The home dynamic drops a player, and they just got a penalty, losing another one.
Yep.
5-on-3 right now. And we've got Jamz established at the center can, sitting on the snake side lane. Yep. They're also in the Dorito 4, moving into the mini Dorito, which is covering his protection.
Yeah.
The Jamz player is taking a lot of heat out of that juice box.
Yeah, this is big because the Jamz player at the 50 is going to be able to get everyone now because nobody is looking at him, nor can anyone stop him from that bunker. So he's gonna be able to feast on everyone right now.
Agreed. And the one thing, too, is when these players establish themselves in the center field, you see Jamz is now in the center 50. Yep. The closest attacker is that center plate. There's no way at this point in time that player can get up there and eliminate that threat. Nope. So as you're saying, everyone's now playing off their heels, and they got to figure out how to dig this out.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be huge because now Omaha's on their side of the field. They also have a guy right behind him in the Dorito 4, a center 50 player. They also have the guy in the snake.
Jamz is moving onto their side of the field. He just crossed the center 50 to the stand-up temple, looking inside, looking to pinch out. The home player for Jamz has also come to the center 50, shooting through the window. Snake side shooting on the Dorito side. Mm-hmm. They're also moving in a complementary fashion down the Dorito side as well. Looks like Dorito 50 is wrapping as well. Now he's shooting on the inside.
And they get the guy that was in their Doritos, but Omaha still has a guy right behind him to follow up in the 50.
Dynamic just dropped their snake corner player. He tried to slide out.
Yep, so now it's a 2-on-4.
So we got 8:20 left in this game. Jamz understands that they are winning this game right now.
Yep.
And they just lost the home player for Dynamic. Traded out with the plate. Okay, he's going to hit the buzzer. One thing in making these final moves and trying to conserve time, you don't want to have a dirty hang and have it go another way. Obviously, he feels very confident in the move he did, but this is where we are right now. As of right now, if we can rub, okay. It's a 1-1, Jamz and Dynamic.
Yep.
So we will see what Dynamic is going to have to throw back at Jamz. Obviously, they were back-end presence. We'll see if they're going to make some assertion, whether on the Doritos side, center 50, or the snake side.
Yep. And if you're Infamous coming out here being up by 1 and running that really long point, what do you think? What do you think they do? Do you think they stick to their bread and butter, or do you think they change something up to kind of catch them off guard?
You know, I've played against Infamous for about 2 years now. When I was playing the divisionals. Right now, I'm playing semi-pro with New Jersey Jesters. This is a very good coach team, and they are good on their guns. So if you give them an inch, they're going to take it from you. The one thing I would like to see from them is a stronger presence down the snake side. Again, similar to last event's layout, this snake is very hard to get into. However, when you get into it, you can capitalize from it. So the one thing about this field, in my opinion, is you need to be attacking from 2 out of the 3 facets. We can get in the center 50, no problem. Let's make it happen somewhere else.
Yep.
5-on-5 breakout right now. Infamous is not going to the snake corner, and Malicious Intent is dropping 1 off the bat, and I believe that was their forward presence.
Oh. And Infamous gets a minor.
2.
Yep.
So we have a 4-on-3 situation right now. Infamous is in the juice box on the snake side. The snake side wedge, both of those guns are that way. The center plate right now is trying to get some communication. He understands that he's got to try to shut down the Doritos. He's on that side right now. And then for Malicious Intent, we have the juice box on the snake side, the home, and trying to look through some of these bunkers. I know they've got more players there. They've got the stand-up temple, which is now filled out to the Dorito corner, and they are in the 30 Dorito right now.
Yep. He's going to move up right behind him, so now they get the 1-2 punch on the Dorito side, which this guy up front can get a little bit more creative.
Yes.
They do. Infamous does have the guy in the snake wedge looking cross, which you cannot see it from the Dorito, but he's going to try and jump through this right now.
And he makes the gap.
Yep.
The player for Infamous here dropped that gap. That's one that guy should have made that elimination from. However, conversely, Infamous is in the positions that they need to be in to lock something up. And Malicious Intent
gets the kill from it, yeah.
But they load the center 50 right now. So the one thing I would get ready to look for, they understand that there's a snake side wedge. He's getting ready to go. He's going to go take the wedge, and he gets shot beforehand. That's where that plate's good from. Like I was talking about, you're trying to find that other guy. Yep. That's exactly why that player's there. That Infamous player definitely did his thing. Malicious Intent not trying to get off the field, make Infamous get around him in a little bit different way. Now this guy needs to get down the field. Stop trying to shoot this guy from the one spot. Get down there and shoot him in the back. Necks, backs, and packs. That's what we're here for.
And that was a great move because putting some pressure on him now, he's worried about him in the snake, but now he can take all the way down. The biggest thing he's worried about here is him shooting down on him. So when he does that, he's able to kind of put some pressure on him. But now he's in a bad spot to where if he didn't take that ground quick enough.
And on the far side, Malicious Intent just actually retreated for some reason. They went from Dorito 3 back to Dorito 2. It is a kind of a good move. However, where we're sitting right now, you got to realize where your people are. If you've got a guy that's in the snake shooting on the snake way and he's got his protection there, it's just one. So this is where in these low body situations, these longer times, these teams really have to work on their east-west communication. Right now we're at almost 4 minutes and less. Wisconsin Infamous is up by 1 over Malicious Intent. So the one thing that's really good about Infamous is they are well coached.
Yes.
They understand that when they're up on bodies and they're up on points that they're just going to, strangle you just a little bit more. They understand that the ball's in their favor. They're potentially going to win this game, but they just need to do everything else correct. And that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, and the reason we're not seeing him be too aggressive in the snake right now is because he's working with his teammates here to kind of just suffocate these players. Because if he does overextend too much and ends up dying, then he puts his team in a 2-on-2. And just like there, he made that one guy comfortable enough.
At the same time, Malicious 10 makes a move up the Dorito side. Die on your sword. Doesn't take anyone with him. And it's 2-0 Infamous over Malicious Intent right now. With 3:31 left in the game, we've got Omaha Jamz and Dynamic tied 1-1, 8:09 left, about a minute in the break.
Yep. And a little bit of my backstory, I was actually in the same exact position as Infamous was last year. So at this time last year, I was out here playing on the pro field, or we were playing on the pro field for first.
Okay.
So
what team were you playing with? Give them a shout out.
Carolina Crisis D3.
Okay.
So I understand the point that they're at. We went up, we went down by 1, and then we went up 2-1. So being in that spot to where you're really fighting for something that means the world to you, right? It's World Cup. It means the world to you. You have to understand that every call counts. And so they're out here, they're analyzing everything, but Infamous seems to be, like you said, very well coached, so they seem to have everything together right now.
Yes. And, this is one of those things that you said, this is the final event. This is it. This is Win World Cup. Everyone puts all those hashtags and all the promo videos. Yep. This is where it comes down to. These teams are playing for medals right now. We got 5-on-5 breakout. Relatively pocket play for
Dynamic
both
does
teams.
Take some risk going all the way wide to the Dorito 2, that wide Dorito.
And we've got 2 in the center 50 here for Dynamic. One's on the Snake way, one's on the Dorito way. Snake side guy's looking to go. I can tell by the way he's looking. Jamz is in the center can plate, Dorito side, juice box right now. Conversely for Dynamic, obviously double in the center 50. The Dorito side shooting through the window right now on the Snake side. However, this can is looking for this guy to go. Oh, and Dynamic player just took elimination. There's 1. So 5-on-4 as of right now. Dynamic still has juice box, center 50, Dorito side corner, and I believe Dorito 1. So 5-on-4 right now. Potentially looking for this Jamz can up, and Jamz just drops a guy moving up the Doritos. Center 50 clapped him out. 4-on-4. I would look for maybe this Jamz player in the center can to run through and take out the center 50 if he knows it's there. He's moved over to the snake side wedge, looking inside at the same time. Juice box for the Jamz just went out to snake side corner.
Yeah, and Dynamic responds too. That's a great time because when that guy fills out, that zone all of a sudden opens up so that he can fill out too. So it's a good response.
Agreed. That's the one thing, as you see, when everyone plays this pocket, the guns are in tight and they're shooting on the wings. When you can put that player in and then you can get out wide, it spreads the guns to allow more middle movement, whether that's going into the snake or the Doritos. So it's a hard gap to cross, but the teams that are able to do it, they're able to give their... And at the same point in time, Dynamic's move, comes around, gets shot in the head by Jamz. Did Jamz get shot? Jamz doesn't look like he got shot, but he gave Dynamic a little extra in the head, so we're going to see how that goes, and then he's going to let him wear it a little bit more. That's what we're talking about. Let's see this paintball. Okay, so we've got Jamz is moving up. They are now in Dorito 3. They're in the stand-up temple and the snake side wedge. Snake side wedge is sitting on the snake side. The two Dorito players are teaming up with each other. The snake corner for Jamz launched from the corner into the snake, working his way down. The Jamz snake side wedge has now launched into the center 50 brick. Snake side center 50 brick. It's not right in the middle. Jamz loses another player out of the middle here real quick. So we've got 3-on-2, I believe. I see a Dorito corner and a snake corner for Dynamic. They've got a good cross. Let's see if they get this east-west communication going right now. Another player eliminated from Jamz.
Oh, and Omaha is throwing this away. They just lose their Dorito player as well.
This is a thing that with Jamz, this event, the couple games I've commentated, they're in great positions, but then they're throwing this away. This communication and closing the field is something all teams need to do. Okay. We're going to see, you're going to call him Rub. He's good to go. Okay. Jamz snake player. And it was a 2-on-1. And Dynamic's going to close this one out. It is now 2-1. Dynamic over Jamz. 5:05 left in the game. Okay, and walking on, we've got Infamous and Malicious Intent. We've got Infamous here on your right-hand side, Malicious Intent on your left. Again, it's 2-0, Infamous over Malicious Intent. Both teams have been coming with a heavy pocket presence, throwing the guns. Infamous has thrown their one player out to the snake corner a couple times. Mm-hmm. He's made it, I would say, about 50-50. But again, this is that risk. If you make it, it's great. If you lose, you're sending your pawn to die anyway. Yes. So, you got to, just be ready to lose one guy off the bat.
Yeah, and if I'm Infamous, we've seen that they have very good off-the-break shooting. I think that they stay doing what they're doing with maybe one change for the wide guy, and then I think that they're just ready for something to come crazy from Malicious. I think that Malicious is going to try something to get up the field quick.
Agreed. And so we're looking at 3:30 at the time that this game is going to start. Malicious Intent is going to go snake side corner, mini Dorito, snake side wedge, home that now just filtered out to the juice box, and the backside temple. Conversely, we've got Infamous at the center plate sitting on the snake side. We've got the snake side wedge sitting on the snake side, Dorito side tall temple, juice box, and the home. So it looks like it's a 5-on-5 breakout right now. Malicious Intent having a little bit of issue with his loader, snake side wedge. At the same time, the Dorito has now just launched from the mini into Dorito 2.
Yep. Infamous actually lost a body, so it's a 4-on-5.
And I will say there's a little bit of, everyone's talking about, when your loader goes down, if it works, doesn't work, and people try to, feed a ball in or two. Here's the trick. Open that thing up, rip out the tray, close it back up. Now you got a shake and bake loader, and it's going to work.
Infamous loses another player.
As well as Malicious Intent is in the center 50, as well as the Dorito 50, and snake side corner has now just launched into snake 2. Juice box went to the snake insert. He's got Rub on his loader. You're going to see some refs running over to him, so I'm not paying too much mind to that right now. At the same point in time, Infamous is in the plate. He doesn't know which way to look because he's got too many jobs to take care of. He doesn't understand. Snake player's got to be careful for Malicious Intent. You make these moves. He literally just hit the snake bunker, and no one knows that he's there. He's going to shoot this back corner, make the shot count. Yep. He's going to wrap inside, shoot this plate, or the plate's going to shoot him. Going to figure out which player figures this one out first.
Load a pod.
Hey, make him wear it. There you go. Okay, so we got. Hey, we're all fans of the game. I love shooting people and I hate getting shot. So we got to just enjoy it when we get to talk about it.
He goes down and finishes it off by taking out the snake corner.
He's like, wait, and that's the smart thing to do. Malicious Intent realizes that they had a player that took the ball and ran with it. Yep. He's got other people behind him. Let's get checked off clean because, again, you hang that flag and you're hit, boom. Now it goes the other way, and all that work is for nothing. Yep. So.
And we saw this in the last match with D4 in the semifinals, is that the team went up 2-0.
Yep.
And then they kind of started sitting back on their heels. They started doing the same things. Now, whenever we talk about, hey, we're going to stick to the same thing we're doing, that does not mean that, hey, we're going to sit in our bunkers and shoot our guns the whole entire time. That means, hey, we're going out, we're going to do the same breakout, and we're still playing paintball. We're not doing this whole lock down the field and sit there and let them run through our guns because they still have plenty of time. They don't have to go through your guns right now. They can sit, wait for the zone to drop, and then go.
Agreed. 100%. And then, again, that's where we're going to see some of these, like, potentially slower games as the view. However, these players understand where they're going to get shot from. They're not trying to die in a stupid fashion. They're honoring the fact that 5 bodies alive is better than 1 losing, especially when you run through a gap and you shouldn't be shot in that fashion. Yep. So we're going to see here Dynamic is 2-1 right now. We got Omaha Jamz on our left, Dynamic on the right, 5:05 left in the game clock. Coaches are calling out plays. Okay, so we've got Jamz right now, 5 alive, 2 shooting off the break, 1 in the home, filling out to the juice box, plate, stand-up temple, and snake side wedge is going to be sitting on the Dorito side. At the same point in time, Dynamic made the launch to the mini Dorito. He's getting checked out by the ref right now. They have a very similar mirrored breakout minus the match at the snake side wedge. Still 5-on-5. We've got a plate player for Jamz sitting on the snake lane. Home for Dynamic just launched into their center plate. He's sitting Dorito side. So both plate players are sitting on opposite angles. However, someone has someone's back. So when you look at Jamz, the plate player is sitting on the snake side while the snake side wedge is sitting on the Dorito side. Yep. Conversely, the Dynamic player in the plate is sitting on the Dorito side, and his backup in that stand-up temple is watching that same gap on the snake side. So we've got that crossed up, and then we can just see that the snake side wedge for Jamz just launched into the center 50, looking through the window on the snake side, and now he's going to sit on the snake side gap, trying to catch the juice box going through. Now he's going to be a little bit more active in there. He's now going on the Dorito side. Pod throw. Okay, let's see. That pod throw was actually really good. I got to give him. Oh, yeah. He bit it. He bit it for a second. So good for that, grenade. I don't know if he's been. That was a good one.
From the backfield too.
I mean, that was we saw that thing, and he made him look. So good for him. However, I probably wish I would have had that pot of paint instead. But, we'll see how this one shakes out.
Yeah, especially on this layout. It seems to be like a lot of people are shooting a lot of paint this weekend on this layout. So.
Agreed. And this is the one thing we're going to have to pay attention to right now. We're getting ready to come up on 3 minutes. Center 50 for Jamz is making a move. Launches into Dynamic side of the field. Now he's going to be guns up. However, we're not up. Now takes elimination. Okay, so I believe it is.
Oh, and they get a minor for it, too.
Oh, boy. All right, taking one with your buddy. That's not good. All right, so now we've just lost that established presence. The juice box just tried to fill out to the corner. He just dropped. This has been Jamz's downfall. They're playing so good in the beginning, and then it just snowballs. One guy gets a penalty, someone else just dies at the same time, and then now they're down 2 or 3 each time.
Yeah, so the question now is, did the pod throw actually work? Because when he came around the corner, he was shooting for the guy that was in the center 50, and I think that's what he meant to do because he saw it and got the intel, and I think he was waiting for his time to go. But saying that, one of those things you would like to confirm it, but at the same time, that guy being up there and you're down, you have to take him out because then it allows your back guys to move off of that. And I think that's a good reason why Dynamic didn't go up to that because Jamz is looking to capitalize off of this chaos, whereas Dynamic does not need to capitalize off the chaos, right? They need to stay alive. They need to shoot their guns. They need to play really effective paintball from the wide sides. When they go up the middle, it's going to allow them to lose players. And as you see, they lost players trying to go up the middle, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Conversely, at the same time, just to complement what we're talking about, that's the first pod throw I've seen in my entire time here being at the event so far. When you're in that center 50, you're going to get got.
Yeah.
So it's when I was playing the thing, if I'm going to sit on one side, I just know that it's going to come. I know that I've got my guy protecting me. I got to sit on this zone.
Yep.
So we know when the communication's there. As you said, Jamz has been having some communication issues. So did he get some bad information? Did he try to go run through, make something happen, and then it didn't go out his way? We'll see. Real quick, want to give a shout out to our sponsors: ProSharp, Planet Eclipse, GI Sports, HK Army, Lone Wolf, Dice, Up Air, Lux, and obviously NXL for making this happen.
Yep.
And obviously got to give a shout out to the refs, camera guys, everyone that's been here all weekend. And right now we've got Wisconsin Infamous, 2-1 over Malicious Intent, 1:38 left on the clock. Break time right now. There's a timeout, so we're at 1:20. So again, some of the things, Infamous, they are playing against Intent, both have a really good heavy pocket presence. I believe truly that these two teams are very well matched up. However, Infamous is throwing that snake corner runner, which is bringing the guns wide, allowing for some moves to happen. Malicious Intent has tried to complement that same move, and now it really just comes down to these players being able to do their jobs.
Yep.
A lot of times, sometimes you can go one way or the other, but really a game like this, you need to be on your game. You spend all this time practicing, snapshotting, doing all this stuff. This is where it matters right now.
Yeah, and then they only have 1:30 to work with, so it's not like Malicious Intent has a ton of time. I would actually take the intel that you've gotten from the past 3 points of what Infamous has done and try and work with that. They've sent a snake wedge every single point. So that's something that, hey, maybe we can key up on this guy, or we can go through and get him some type of way to open up that snake room so you can get in the snake and go. Same, they're going to send a snake corner because they don't want this guy to get in the snake and go all the way down. And if you're in the snake corner, you can you can live and shoot cross field, so you can protect the buzzer from there too as well.
And we may see with this low time if there's going to be a bait play through the center.
Infamous goes to the corner and looks to make it alive.
Infamous drops one off the Dorito side. They also went to Dorito 1. They're in the home juice box snake corner. So I believe we are 5-on-4 right now. Malicious Intent is they match in the snake side corner. Mini Dorito center 50 juice box, and I believe that there's one more in the stall tall stand up on the Dorito side. At the same time, Malicious Intent just got a penalty on the Dorito side.
Got a major, and they lose the guy that was on the side of the field. So it looks like they might.
Oh boy!
Secure this. Oh, and they're pulling everybody off the field. So.
Oh man. Okay, well.
All the players from Malicious Intent.
Malicious Intent gets to watch this point back in the thing because this was the point that cost them the game.
Yeah.
I will commentate, curse these guys, because that was the point that this would have been the deciding factor. Infamous and Malicious Intent both had a great breakout, both with mirrored positions. However, the one Malicious Intent player drew that major penalty, which then took out his entire line.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that was a not just a major, but a
gross major,
because they were pulling everybody off the field. It looked like.
We didn't get to truly see it, so who knows? At that point in time, when we were talking about where the time was, you got to go for broke.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to really cost your team. Obviously we got to look back at the footage and see what that one truly will work out to. Coming up now is Dynamic 3-1. We got 2:01 left in the game, 30 seconds left as I'm speaking. We're going to see what Jamz has.
Yeah. They've got plenty of time.
To tie it up, certainly.
Yes,
we can tie this up in 2 minutes and go to overtime.
Yeah. They just can't sit on their heels for too long. Once they realize that they've been in their bunker just a little bit too long, it's time to go. You have to go.
Agreed. So, the way we've seen Dynamic play is that they've really made a strong pocket presence with that forward center 50 push. So we're going to see what Jamz is going to have to do. Are they going to send someone to the center 50 and then just cross right over using the snake side wedge as protection? Dive into mini 50, center 50 for Jamz, snake side wedge, as well as juice box, stand-up corner, 0-1 for Jamz. Double in the home, which filtered out to the juice box for Dynamic. Plate as well, stand-up temple, plate, and stand-up temple are sitting D-way, as well as Dynamic has made it to the snake corner, but he's sitting inside. And Dynamic just took a minor, yep. So they just dropped 2, so I believe this is a 4-on-3 as of right now. Jamz has entered the snake. He's in snake 2, sitting inside. They've got the center plate as well.
Dynamic loses another player. Dynamic still has a snake corner, so if he decides to look down the tape, he can catch this guy. And they also have the plate, like you're saying. They're crossed right now. The only problem is I don't think this plate guy knows that they're in the snake, so if this guy in the snake can capitalize, he can honestly win this point for them.
And this is where the snake player needs to realize, when you get into this snake, he's got to stay low. A little too high, in my opinion. Get down the field. Made that elimination. Okay, good. That's what we were talking about there.
He's got one player left. And they're at 60 seconds, so they're working with less than a minute for their last point.
All right.
And they get the snake corner, guys, so that's 5 bodies. Oh, a dead man's walk.
Oh, my goodness. Dynamic just pulled a dead man's walk. And he literally just whopped the whole team. Oh, my goodness.
There's one guy left on Jamz, and he has no clue.
Did he just pull this out? Did he just make... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Dead man's walk.
We just had a dead man's walk by Dynamic. They had no idea.
Yeah,
and that player, number 1, jet ski, good for you, buddy. Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to sit here. He knows I'm up 3.
Yeah,
so
race to 4.
He's not being arrogant. He's not being arrogant. Real quick, just to say that for all the commentators. They are up 3-1 right now with that low of time. He's not hitting the buzzer to force the team to either hit the buzzer or, he just got a taunting penalty. That's so stupid. I mean, like, you just made a great play.
Yeah.
I just said all these good things about you, and you do something like that, and you get a penalty. That's not how you are a good player. It's a bad move. So it's a bad move on Dynamic there. They could have locked that up, but, they can be happy about it.
Yeah, they still won, so.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But,
You never see a dead man's walk coming from from the team that's winning.
Agreed.
So.
And that was one of those last desperation, hey, you get up, you make it happen. So, good for him. So I believe Dynamics, they're going to either finish with 3-1, 4-1 over Omaha Jamz at the end of that game. And we've got a little bit of break time here. We're getting ready to come into this last couple minutes here with Malicious Intent and Infamous. Again, just want to give a shout out to the sponsors, ProSharp, Planet Eclipse, GI Sports, HK, Lone Wolf Paintball, Dye, Sub Air, and Lux. And again, obviously, want to give a shout out to the NXL for making this happen.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to give a shout out to people? Anything?
Oh, dude, I mean, I'm sponsored by Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf's an amazing company. They're always supporting paintball players. You can use the code GYMRAT, save 15% off any Carbon Virtue or Lone Wolf products. So if you ever want to go there, get a Lone Wolf shirt, maybe get you a new pair of goggles, anything like that, you can use the code GYMRAT, save 15%.
Awesome. I had to, drop a plug-in. I'm not sponsored by Lone Wolf, but Cesar Pizzo from Ultra Silk.
There you go.
He is my gun tech. He does all my stuff. So reach out to him. Tell him Julian sent you and that his stuff works.
Yep.
He's done both my guns, and they're working fantastic. We got 20 seconds here coming into under a minute with Wisconsin Infamous Malicious Intent. 3-1 Infamous over Malicious Intent. 10 seconds. Looks like Snake Corner for Malicious Intent.
Yeah, and Malicious Intent is really just going to try and bring something out here.
They dropped one off the bat. The snake side wedge got hit through.
Crazy move going up and over to the Dorito 4.
And they also just dropped their Snake Corner. They're in the 50 Dorito for Malicious Intent. Yep. They're on the snake side. They're also in the plate that is sitting on that gap right there. He made that elimination there, but also had to walk off with someone else. Oh, Infamous just got 2 flags. These guys got to stay composed. Something's going on here. It's either 1 yellow flag or 2 yellow flags for the same thing. As of right now, Malicious Intent is making their way through. This guy's going to hit the buzzer. Last couple seconds left. Okay, 3-2.
14 seconds left.
14 seconds. So I believe we may be in X-Ball right now. If we are in X-Ball, when we say that, that means in a split deck set that the other team is done. So there is a 2-minute break, which is what you can see right here on your clock with that 2-minute break time counting down. So we've got 14 seconds left in this game. We've got Wisconsin Infamous and Malicious Intent. Infamous is up 3-2. You figure 14 seconds left. I have a feeling what's going to happen. What do you think that Malicious Intent is going to do at this point in time?
I think they're going to send 2 guys wide. I think they're going to send 2 guys wide, and then they're also going to send that same run that they just did to the Doritos. And then the last 2 guys are going to go up the center. I think they're going to try and do a 1-2 punch at the center with this guy diving over into the Doritos, and the 2 wide guys are going to try and follow up. So I think we're not going to see miniguns off the break, and if they are, they're going to be running and gunning.
Agreed. We're going to see. I have a feeling that we're going to see some flags within these last 14 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you're fighting for your place in paintball history.
I mean, this is first and second.
Yep.
This is first and second right now. This is as I've been saying many times, this is the die on your sword moment. So we're going to see what push happens for these guys and what is going to be the complement. Because obviously, as you're saying, we're going to see some people fly through. So if the protection is there and we make these eliminations happen, where's the counterpunch going to happen? We're going to see what these teams have to complement their punches. We're going to have Infamous here, 30 seconds. They're going to be on our left. Malicious Intent is going to be here on the right.
And just a little history, Wisconsin Infamous actually won Division II a couple of years ago. So they are here trying to get their second World Cup win as a team. So it's really impressive to see them back out here again on this stage.
I know that the Infamous program, they've got many divisions, both in the central part of the states as well as the West Coast as well. So it's a fantastic program. Great for those guys. Okay, Wisconsin Infamous drops one off the bat. As you were saying, they were going to run through, die on the swords. 2, 3, 1. Try not to get penalties for Infamous. They realize they're hit.
That's it.
And that's the game. Congratulations, Wisconsin Infamous. These guys got first place. Malicious Intent got second place. I believe Dynamic got third place, and then Omaha Jamz is going to wrap up with the fourth place for the division.
Yeah, hey guys, be proud. If you made it out here on this field, be proud, because this is something you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. So this is something that is awesome, regardless of your placing. If you make it out here on this field for playing for anything, any type of placing, it's awesome.
Agreed. With this last bit, obviously the cameras are on these guys as they should be celebrating the win. Do you want to give any last little final shout-outs to anyone that helped you got here?
Shout out to the NXL, Comp Paintball, and everybody else allowing me to come out here, commentate, and y'all get free paintball matches, which is awesome.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, Bob and everything that Comp Paintball has done to bring this here, you know, to be able to tell your family, like, check us out on Facebook. It's awesome.
Yep.
So definitely have to give a shout out to Bob, NXL, for everything else. For myself personally, I'm going to give a shout out to my own paintball field, Route 40 Paintball Park, White Marsh, Maryland, as well as my company, Yellow CBD, health, wellness, and beauty products. You can see us at www.cyellow.com. Use promo code JAM20, JAM20, for 20% off your entire order. If you have any questions, you can find me on all the social media platforms at Julian the Whale. And then just want to give a shout out to New Jersey Jesters, semi-pro, D3, D4, D5. We're here and just rebuilding and reloading every time. Just so stoked to play paintball. And thank you guys so much. And I just want to say thank you again to all the sponsors that made this happen. Pro Sharp, Planet Eclipse, GI Sports, HK, Lone Wolf, Dice, Sup Air, Lux, NXL. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one.